Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, subscribe below, turn on notifications with the bell, and like the video. There's a rumor going around that Palmeiras is sending players to the match against Grêmio at the last minute, right? Sending players for this game against Grêmio. Yeah, man, I don't really believe in that information. I haven't seen anything official about it. They're saying Palmeiras will send players last minute on Leila's plane, and it's just a trick. Anyway, Flamengo shouldn't base their actions on Palmeiras. Flamengo should think, we need to play a great game today. I don't think they should waste it, and I also think they have the squad to play with an alternative lineup. For example, I wouldn't start Arrascaeta today. I would start Carrascal. If necessary, I would put Arrascaeta on the field for a few minutes, especially since it's artificial turf. I wouldn't start Jorginho today. I'd manage his minutes and only play him if needed. For example, Plata is an option, but he won't play in the final in Lima. Plata would play the full game and could even score. Imagine, at the arena, Gonzalo Plata scoring. That's what I say, man. It's about knowing how to balance things. And I think Felipe will have it. He's already gaining experience. He's been in charge of Flamengo for over a year now. Yeah, many titles and important competitions. Yeah, I think he'll have the mindset. He'll make the right decision about who to use thinking about both games. He has to think about both things. Now, he says this a lot. I'll only think about Palmeiras after this game here. No. This moment when you have two decisive games and you need to have the whole team ready for both, right now, you must consider both. This is the moment when you have to play thinking about the next one. There's no other way. So much so that Abel is a strategist. Very dangerous. We know that, right? He's a strategist. That's why I say you can't be arrogant. There's always someone spectacular on the other side. We complain, but Abel really is something, right? He already... You know he's done this before, even against Botafogo itself. So he seems like he's giving up, but actually he's not. So he's a guy you have to be careful, everyone. No arrogance or early celebrations. Nothing's won yet in the Libertadores or the Brazilian Championship. And today is a historic day. Flamengo could become champions. It's not the Brazilian Championship. It's a decisive moment. So no one slept well. I couldn't sleep well. No one slept, but we know we have to stay calm, okay? Right? It's not about making songs. It's not about doing whatever. For me, you celebrate that later. Now, as for the fans, who am I to judge the fans, right? Look at that. Yeah, Arrascaeta. Let me bring you some important information. He stood out with 975,000 shirts sold, aiming for 1 million personalized Flamengo shirts sold, okay? So, Flamengo has reasons to celebrate Arrascaeta's performance, who stood out not only on the field, but also in shirt sales. According to information from Coluna do Fla, the Uruguayan midfielder reached the impressive mark of 972,000 shirts sold in 2025. Okay? He's now the 6th top seller globally. That's wild. Okay, so the ranking is led by Lamine Yamal, 1,315,000 shirts, and Lionel Messi, 1,278,000 shirts. Yeah, at Inter Miami, Messi and Yamal at Barcelona, right? Yeah. Then it continues with Lewandowski, 1,110,000 shirts, right? They're in Barcelona too. Mbappe, Real Madrid, 1,020,000 shirts. Vini Jr., Real Madrid with 992,000 shirts. So close to Vini Jr. Arrascaeta, 975,000 shirts. He's the only player from South America in the top 10. All right? Even beating stars like Cristiano Ronaldo, who sold 925,000 shirts for Al Nassr, and Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United with 878,000. All right? So Arrascaeta could reach that milestone of 1 million shirts sold in the next few weeks, especially with the decisive matches coming up. Flamengo is in the running for both titles. If Flamengo wins one of those two, I want it to be both. With just one of those, Arrascaeta will surpass 1 million and could even reach the top 5 if things go well. So, we have to celebrate this great achievement by Arrascaeta, okay? It's also important for us to talk about other great achievements we've had. There was one today that was spectacular. But first, I want to talk about this situation here, man, involving the... Man, I was impressed. Because there's a journalist there, right? A Vasco fan, I won't even mention him. But he came to say that Neymar, there are some guys who like to suck up to Neymar. There are so many people sucking up to Neymar. Neymar, man, look, if Neymar is playing well, I'll be the first to say it. To praise Neymar, I don't go after Neymar. If he's doing well, I support him to succeed. Go to the World Cup and become a world champion. If he's doing well, I'll praise him. Now, trying to put down other players just to try to make Neymar equal to them is actually shameful. Okay? But it's just sucking up to Neymar. I'm really impressed by it, okay? So the guy went on social media to make an unbelievable comparison between Neymar and Arrascaeta in the year 2025. According to him, both players, both number 10s, have similar stats this season. The record right for goal involvements in the Brasileirão belongs to Arrascaeta. It belongs to Arrascaeta, and they keep insisting, right, on... This one especially insists on trying to boost Neymar's image, his reputation. I really hope Neymar has a good final stretch at Santos, goes to the national team and plays in the World Cup. Okay, to crush it if he deserves it, great, but then making things up, man. He says that in the sample he used of the last 5 games for each player, he focuses on physical performance. And he didn't disclose the source, okay? But he shows a table with the categories total distance, high intensity distance, and maximum speed for each player. Do you want to compare that, man? You try to find some parameters, some situations to try to compare Neymar with Arrascaeta and say they're on the same level? Arrascaeta is now the top number 10 in Brazil, okay? He says, based on the data, that there's a technical tie between the players. The analysis was heavily criticized on social media by Flamengo fans, and actually by fans in general, right? Pointing out that the guy only focused on the physical aspect, excluding both players' productivity during the season. Exactly. Man, it's unbelievable, okay? Then he used that physical part, but forget that Arrascaeta has over 40 goal involvements this season, okay? In 58 games, Neymar has 10 goal involvements in 27 matches. Shall we compare then, my dear? Shall we compare? Shall we stop idolizing Neymar? Shall we really compare? Look, 27 games. I'll double it to get to 58 almost. I'll double it. Neymar played less than half the games Arrascaeta did. See how tricky this is? But he was injured, etc. Let's double 27. That's 54 games, right? He would have 20 goal involvements, while Arrascaeta has 40. With almost the same number of games, he has half the goal involvements of Arrascaeta. There's no discussion, my brother, okay? You want to discuss the last 5 games? All right, that's complicated. Hey, Shampoo, that's complicated, huh? It's complicated. Arrascaeta had a rough last 5 games. 1 goal from Neymar, 3 goals from Arrascaeta, and 2 assists. Neymar, 1 goal, 0 assists. It turned out bad, right? Shall we compare? What do you think? Do you really want to compare? Right, Shampoo? Your life is going to be hard with me here to give you a reality check, right? Come to reality, because you can't, man. You can't. Stop sucking up to Neymar, man. Stop sucking up to Neymar. If you have to praise him when he deserves it, okay. But making this up just because Arrascaeta's hype, the guy is riding the wave. He's at his peak, having the best year of his career, and you want to compare Neymar to him just to capitalize on his success? Come on, man. Man, that looks bad, okay? That's actually kind of ugly. It's surreal, man. I get irritated because it's a lot. It's really messed up, even with Arrascaeta, man. It's messed up even with Arrascaeta. Well, we have some important information to share here. Flamengo had a major victory in court against Libra, okay? And about this victory, Flamengo even released a statement. Look, the court recognized Flamengo, right? It acknowledged Flamengo's position in the broadcasting rights dispute with Libra over the Brasileirão. Judge Lucia Helena do Passo dismissed the association's claim and allowed the club to receive the entire amount from Scenario 1, while the difference remains withheld, and Libra will still have to present the calculations for the other members with proportional reduction. In other words, it will already have to be reduced. Flamengo will receive the extra amount it believes it was entitled to. For the November 2025 installment, the rapporteur decided to send the matter to arbitration. That's a point Flamengo disagrees with, right? He wanted to receive the correct amount starting now, but he will comply by judicial order and guidance. So Flamengo will comply, even though they don't agree, but they will comply. The judge pointed out that in all discussions about the distribution criteria, Libra never respected the principle of unanimity, as stated in its bylaws. What a shame. And the club reinforces its commitment to transparency regarding decisions and the contractual mechanisms for conflict resolution. Damn it! Damn it. Yeah, man. You already know who's not going to like it, right? You know who's going to be upset about this, right? Look, let's bring Flamengo's schedule for this match against Atletico at 6 o'clock, right? At noon, they had lunch, and now at 6 o'clock, a hearty snack. Leave for the stadium at 7:10, arrive at the Galineiro by 8 o'clock, Atletico versus Flamengo at 9:30 at the Galineiro. 12:30, departure for the airport. 2 in the morning, takeoff for Rio de Janeiro. 3 in the morning, expected landing at Galeão. Right? And we're always covering everything for you. I'm going to bring it here now, invite you to follow along and subscribe to Marília Galvão, also from Desimpedidos. Marília Galvão, Magalvão S. She interviewed Leo Ortiz, and Leo Ortiz talked about this rivalry between Flamengo and Palmeiras. Shall we check out what he said about this rivalry between Flamengo and Palmeiras? And I'll be right back with you to bring the speech that Abel should use against Flamengo. He's already getting ready to complain. Abel is already getting ready to complain after the championship.
I wanted to talk a little about this Palmeiras and Flamengo rivalry, which got even more heated this year, right? This thrilling battle for the Brazilian League lead follows the Libertadores final. Is Palmeiras now Flamengo's biggest rival?
I think so. I think in a national context and also in a continental context, like with the Libertadores, I think so. Because of the investment both teams make and the structure both have, I think they're ahead of the others. Of course, that doesn't mean other clubs can't compete. Cruzeiro deserves credit not only for its players, but also for the coach, who has built a highly organized, competitive team. Maybe not with the same investment yet, but they're competing equally and have been among Brazil's top 3 teams since the championship began. I believe, as I said, that Flamengo and Palmeiras are on a higher level. And today we're competing against them in the Brazilian Championship, and also in the Libertadores, the final is against them. I think these 2 teams are slightly ahead of the rest. Today I see the Brazilian Championship and its teams rapidly evolving, making competition even tougher.
Awesome, Marília. Leo Ortiz talking there about this issue then of the rivalry between Flamengo and Palmeiras has become a major national one and has grown significantly in recent years. Yeah, and look, according to the Universo Online Esporte portal, there is a perception at Flamengo that if Palmeiras doesn't win the Brasileirão, Abel Ferreira may address the so-called Flamengo narratives about refereeing, which he has already discussed. That's not just perception. He said in his press conference he'll talk after the championship. He's going to complain, right? I praise him for many things. But to me, he's a crybaby who complains about everything and pretends. Leila and her group claim they don't complain about referees, but they just do it differently, don't they? And they're always complaining, okay? Saying Palmeiras doesn't complain is false. Palmeiras, Abel, and his staff complain a lot. Behind the scenes, Flamengo directors think the Palmeiras coach may reference statements by Jose Boto, who made similar criticisms at Benfica and again questioned refereeing after the São Paulo versus Palmeiras match. Yeah, Abel too. It's worth it for Flamengo to also take note of everything Abel does. They claim they don't complain and have discussed it, even calling it a system. They insist they don't complain about refereeing, yet they always find a way to do so. First, they say, no, we could have complained, but you're already complaining, man. Then you want to go and use Boto's situation at Benfica to say he's doing the same thing here? Man, stop whining. You lost, bro. Pack it up and move on. That's it. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe. Check down here, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. Red and black greetings from Flamengo. Thanks.